Alright, welcome to the QR code tutorial, just to get yourself familiar with it. So first thing though, what the heck is a QR code? By now, if you don't know a QR code is this, it's very similar to what a barcode would have been. It's just a little different in that one, right? So if we go to images, this is what it looks like. It's just a way to be read, but think of barcodes in that one. You've probably also seen these before if you've gone to the store and you've clicked on things. You've seen up close that there is a QR code now where you can scan it, you can rate it. It's a real easy way to take surveys, stuff like that. And you're seeing them across many industries now. So QR codes are really important. So for example though, how you would use a QR code. So let's say I wanted to go to a web page. As you're watching this here, you would just use your camera. Notice it reads it, takes it to where you want it to go. Pretty simple on that, and you can do all the stuff that you would normally do if you keep on going with it, and so forth. The only thing I will say on this one though, is that with these QR codes, how we're working them right now, these are native if you have an iPhone. So if you have an iPhone, you would simply just open the camera and do it. Or if you have any other, you have a Samsung, something like that, some are native, some are not. So then you would just have to download a reader. Very simple, and I can help you with that. But let's get into the real stuff. QR codes, how to even make them. So if we just type in QR code, there we get a whole bunch of stuff here. There are so many different sites you can use for it, and I'll be honest, they're all very good. I've used QR code generator for a very long time, and you can make different things the way they look, right? So you can have your QR in the center with Scan Me, all this stuff. The only problem with this is it does cost after a certain point. So that's kind of the kicker, is I believe you get 10 or 20 free downloads. Then after that, you have to pay and then you lose them. So if you're willing to pay, QR code generator is a great way to go. However, if you don't want to pay, you can go to QR code Monkey. Okay, I know it sounds weird. You're like, oh, this can't be real. Oh, it is. So just QR code Monkey and open it, and it'll look like this. Okay, beautiful thing about QR code Monkey is, on a free end of things, if you don't want to track your stats, you don't want to go down here and see how many times your QR code has been scanned, QR code Monkey gives it to you free, right? And yes, I said that, free. I've used it for a very long time. If you're just creating simple QR codes, they're so easy on that one, okay? So let me show you first how to make a QR code, and then we can go in and start playing around with some of the settings, but let's do this. So, for example, I already said you need to have a web page. We're using that right now, a URL. So let's just go here and let's just take our Dominguez High web page. So we're going to copy it, okay? We're going to go over to our QR code Monkey, and right here, you're just going to delete it, and then you're going to paste it, and there we go. You can change colors, we'll worry about that later, but let's just show you right now. Once we have our URL in there, we always want to drag it to the highest quality possible, and at that point, you can create the QR code, and notice that it creates it. You'll see something different there. At this point, then, you would take it and download it. You can either do any format. For me, if you're putting it in Google anything, just download it as a PNG file. It'll download whatever you saved it as, and then from there, you can go ahead and start putting it in. So it's very simple on that one, all right? But let's go with this, because some of us have asked, okay, well, that's really cool for web pages, but how would I make this interactive in my classroom? Got you covered on that one. Let's say, for example, you had a Google form, okay? You had an exit ticket, something like that, or you just wanted simple response to it, and they're going out fast, you want them to use their phones, don't have time to put it up. Why wouldn't you maybe think about putting a QR code attached to your form and let them do that on their own time, but in a quick fashion as well? So, I'm going to open an extra credit one that I have here. I'm going to come up to send, and I'm going to go to the link in the middle here, and I'm just going to highlight that, okay? And we're going to copy it. We're going to go back over to our QR code Monkey, and we are going to put it in there. Excellent. Okay, notice it created it there because I had it on high quality. I clicked enter, or I could have just went and create code. So if you watch this right now, you'll see on the phone what it looks like. It's fairly simple, honestly. It's really not that difficult when you start looking at it. So you're watching it, open the camera, we scan it, you see it open, and there we go. Our form's there on the phone. We are good to go, right? It is that easy. It's so crazy. Everyone gets so tripped up on how difficult QR codes are. They're really not, I promise you, in that one, okay? Now, let's take this to a little more of a next step for us if we want to, all right? Let's say for some reason you don't like black, okay? You want to change your color up in that one. You can change the colors here, and you can make it something totally different if you'd like, okay? Background color, if you want to keep it white, you can. They will ask you, though, to make contrasting colors. So notice here, we recommend to give your colors more contrast between back and front. So play around with colors if you'd like, but just know they're going to ask you to do that, okay? So let's say we can create the QR code just to show you what it might look like. See, there we go. Now I have a red QR code. And it is kind of helpful sometimes when you're putting them in documents that you might want to have more than one QR code. Now you can color code them as you go through. Let's stick with this example though. Let's say I want to add a logo image. So let's say like you want to make this a YouTube one, that it's going to link to one of your YouTube videos or something that you want the students to do. You could simply just click the upload there, and we're going to go to QR code create. Boom, there we go. Now the students know that it is going to YouTube, right? Very, very simple in that one. You can also upload your own image. Yes, I said that. You got your own image, you got a Bitmoji, you got your own design, something like that. You can upload your own, and then yours would come at the center here on that one. Pretty cool. So even if you were to go down here, you can change. They have some cool little features that are already set for you. So let's say you wanted to make like a dot way of it looking. You could go click that and it would make dots. So it's just there for you to play around with. Obviously, if you get really complex with it, you can go up here and you can have it text, you can have it email, you could even have it phone. So when someone was to scan the QR code, it would automatically call the phone that you provided, and so forth. Twitter, all this stuff. And that's a complicated one that you can keep going. But I promise, if you just get the URL stuff here, you're good to go. QR codes are the way to go. Everyone's doing it. We got to get on board with it. And again, I hope I showed you that it's not that difficult. So anything else you need, let me know. We're here for you. And go make some cool QR codes now.